All right, and we back. If I'm clear, please let me know that we clear. No echo in the microphone. Do we have an echo, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Today's lesson, first and foremost, we clear. All right. Thank you, Sister Shanique. Um, First and foremost, let's give a round of applause. Elder Gabar, his daughter, is getting married today. That's right. All right. All right. We want to encourage that, instead of having all these baby showers for single mamas and all this drama. But today's lesson, we just want to come into your living room and speak about, are the strongholds of culture and spiritual influence being broken for your salvation? There's been a lot of talk about how Trump has, cut food stamps and he's altering Section 8, very strategically. And sometimes when something is, keeping us, afloat, is more of a crutch than it is helping us. When we depended on the system and depended on other people and depended on this and that, you have to ask yourself, are you dependent on the Most High? And that's what we're going to look into today. So first and foremost, let's bring this up, the definition, stronghold. All right. It says stronghold is a fortified place, a place of security, of survival, a place dominated by a particular group or marked by a particular characteristic. If you think of social services that has for a long period of time kept our people from reaching, levels of high education, far as being intelligent enough to rise above the issues that come upon us. Yes, there are factors. Yes, there are groups of individuals who set out to keep our people at a certain level of destitution. But nevertheless, we have to think about this. When we came out of slavery, we was at the height of so-called black marriage and being a community. As many people know, we had over 100 communities that got burnt down due to how great we were doing. Because, in the 1930s, the Great Depression took it hit this nation very hard. And due to the fact that most, a certain group of people were used to our ancestors busting their behind, picking cotton and doing everything there was to keep everything afloat. Once that chain got broken, then y'all know what happened. So we checked out Stronghold. I'm gonna play a video real quick, just so y'all can understand where we at. Okay. Okay. 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. I'm new to this, not yet true to this, but we're gonna work this thing out. That's right. Okay. There we go. Oh, wrong one. Here we go.
Wake up, think about it. How am I going to take care of my kids for school? Please help me. Please cash out me. Please help me. I don't have any money for school clothes, school shoes. They took my Section 8. They took my food stamps.
Fair use. Fair use.
What am I going to do?
So, y'all, I lost my food stamps. And I'm trying to tell y'all, that shit hurt. It hurt.
Days since I lost my food stamps. So I have not been able to afford groceries. I did get my cash assistance for this month. Section 8 didn't pay my rent yesterday, so now I have to come up with $1,100 that I don't have. Okay, $1,100. Where am I going to come up with that? I don't have a job. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not going to get a job. I've never had a job. I'm not.
You see that? Now, most of you who watch, most of you get your behind up. You go to work. You put in 8, 12, sometimes 14 hours a day, 5, some of you 6 days a week. And here it is. You got people that's living off the system who told you straight up in your face, they ain't got a job. They ain't getting no job. They don't want no job. But here it is. If you read the caption, she got 6 kids, but she wants you to pay for it. Why is that? It's called a sense of entitlement. Again, a system that Trump is breaking, and that most people believe that they deserve something that they didn't even work for. But is this thing good for us, brothers and sisters? Let's keep watching.
I'm going to do it now, okay? I have been on welfare benefits for 13 years. And now they decide they want to put a time limit on this. It has been 13 years. I have 6 mouths to feed. 6 mouths.
She says it's been 13 years. I've been in my profession for 13 years. Coming from the bottom to the top. Had to pay $77,000 for my trade. And here it is. I still got $55,000 to pay on it. And here it is. She's sitting up here 13 years just living off the system. I want y'all to think about this, brothers and sisters.
It has been a week. I have not been able to put food in this house. I now have to come up with rent. Yes, I got my nails done today. Yes, I got my eyelashes done today. Yes, I got my eyebrows done today. Okay, just because I can't pay my bills does not mean I have to go around looking like a bum. So yes, I did get my nails done.
Trump.
So y'all seen that? She said, yeah, she went and got her nails done and her hair done, eyebrows and all this other stuff, but with what money? The cash assistance. That's your money, brothers and sisters. Your taxes that, when you go do your taxes, people like me, I end up paying out every year. So let's go ahead and get into the word real quick. All right. Hold on. Share. All right. Invite. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I'm new to this, and we're gonna learn this thing together. That's right. All right. First, we're gonna read Judges 2. And an angel of the Most High came up from Gilgal to Bochum and said, I made you go up out of Egypt and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers, and said, I will never break my covenant with you. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this? Wherefore I said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your side, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. Let's stop right there real quick. Here it is. We live in this country. We were spread it about in Deuteronomy 28. We know what took place. Our ancestors, who we are them and they are us, because we are one people. So we must take accountability not only for ourselves, but what for they have done as well. Why? Because we ain't no better and we committing the same doggone sins that they did. So with that being said, we was put into all these different nations and these different captivities. And because they live paganistic lifestyles of serving different gods, it's a thorn in our side. We don't get a break. We always got a doggone put our hand to the plow and do the things that we'll rather not do. And then also now we are now coming back into our God, the Most High, that is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and these other gods, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, and Mithras and all this other stuff have become a snare unto us, to the point where now we are fighting to call our brothers and sisters back, and their minds have been poisoned to the point where it's hard for them to really think. And then when we tell them, hey, well, you're a child of Israel, you're this, that you're not just, you know, put on this earth for bad, for any kind of reasons, they want to argue with you because they've been bamboozled. Let's keep going. And it says, and it came to pass, when the angel of the Most High spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochum, and they sacrificed there unto the Most High, unto the Lord. Slakia. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua. They served the Most High. And all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of the Most High that he did for Israel. And Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of the Most High, died being 110 years old. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Theres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill Gaash. And also, all that generation were gathered unto their fathers. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served Baalim, as we have been doing today, serving Baalim, Moloch, whatever you want to call them. Satan just put on a different mask, but he played the same game. And they forsook the Lord, the God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord, and served Baal and Ashtoreth. And also, brothers and sisters, when they talk about Ashtoreth, this also goes into these paganistic holidays. So if you got, family members that may not understand, Easter, Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day, all of those holidays, which are traditions of men, are faulty to us, and they make us fall. And we're worshiping different gods, and that's against our God. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them. Let's stop right there. You don't think welfare spoiled us? Like the chick said, she been on it for 13 years. She don't want to work. She ain't looking for no job. Yet here it is. She don't feel like she need to do anything. Now, yes, she was a Gentile, but we're going to go into some more videos. You're going to see how bad our people is. Yeah, you know how we get. We stink with it. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord has said, and as the Lord has sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Are we distressed? Here it is, your own welfare, and even before Trump got in office, how many of you truly was living good on welfare? Yeah. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges. Now I want y'all to pay attention to this here. It says, and yet they would not hearken unto their judges. Our people love to say, don't judge me. Oh, our women love to say, oh, I listen to God. I don't listen to man. Well, here it is. The Most High said that the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. So the reason why you could keep going in this perpetual circle of things is because you don't want to listen to the men of the Most High who are trying to help you deliver your mind, your body, and your soul out of a situation that's going to destroy you and the family that you do have. And it ain't much because it ain't no man in the place. Let's keep going. but they went a whoring after other gods. Whoring after other gods can be many things. It could be drugs, it could be cars, materialistic things, especially the worst of all, when it says the love of money is the root of all evil. That's right. And bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. Now, this is during that time where where we got delivered at. For it repented the Lord because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, and following other gods to serve them, and to bow down unto them, they ceased not from their own doings, not from their stubborn way. Y'all know we some stubborn behind people. Now, when it's for the Most High, it's a great thing. But we ain't been with the Most High in forever. And this stubbornness is really hurting our children, these babies out here, cussing and all kind of mess. And so, we got to get a hold of that. Let's keep going. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice. Now I ask sisters that's not of the word, just because you see it says, I commanded their fathers, that didn't say that you got free range to go do what you want to do, because some of y'all think y'all smart and want to think you can outsmart the Most High. And have not hearkened unto my voice. 21. I also will not henceforth drive out any of from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. So I brought this particular scripture up and so we could get an understanding of strongholds and how we got into the situation. So let me bring up, go back into this right here. Let's bring this back up. Where it's at? Now let me show you how, when we talk about a culture, because this culture of welfare, let me show you, it's to a point where instead of people being willing to go get a job, go find, because no one said you have to go get a 4-year degree. There's plenty of trades, there are different skills, there are different certifications you could get where you can make the same amount of money as someone who did go get a 4-year, sometimes 8 years. Some trades, you could go make the same amount of money with a person who got a PhD, and you ain't got to pay all that money back in student loans. Check this out right here, though.
I owe them $35,000 now. Okay, so I live by myself. I'm single. I don't have any kids.
Fair use, fair use.
So I've been applying for food stamps like 2-3 years ago. I lied on my food stamp case and I told them I was homeless, and I told them that I didn't have anything. I was homeless. I didn't have nowhere to go. Blase, blase. And I told them that I wasn't working. So when I first started getting my food stamps, I started getting like $400 a month just for myself.
Now listen to that. The sister up here said she directly lied. And I want you to know there's sisters online teaching other people how to lie in order to get these government assistance. And then you wonder why Trump said, hey, we cutting it off. Now, am I sitting up here standing up for Trump? No. What I am standing up for is us breaking the stronghold that got our minds jacked up, where we won't go do what we need to do, create families, go get a job, go get a career, learn how to trade. Listen, if you have any leader, I don't care if it's of an Israelite church, Christian church, whatever, if they're telling you, oh, you invest your money in the crypto or do stocks, oh, that they are going to steal your money and all this other stuff, don't listen to them when it comes to that particular portion there, because everybody has their part into this walk. Some are preachers, some are teachers, some are counselors. So we all play different parts of the body. So just because he thinks it's a scam, hey, that's probably the reason why he out there selling oils. I'm just saying. I'm not picking on nobody. I'm not taking no shots. But we got to learn to stay in our lanes and appreciate other people who are gifted at the very things that can help us rise together.
So I'm just thinking everything cool, you know, like, okay, I'm getting my food stamps. Nothing happened, you know, so I decided to come on TikTok and tell people, like, if you're trying to get food stamps, you can lie to them and, you know, nothing will happen. So that was a very bad mistake that I made, lying to them. And I really don't give a fuck what y'all saying, because a lot of people saying, you have lashes on, why you need food stamps? I don't care. If it's free, I want it. Baby, food is way expensive. And if I go in Walmart with $100, I'm really not going to leave out with nothing. Who want to keep spending money on food? Like, it's just too much. So when this was, they picked me up yesterday, but day before yesterday, I got a call. And they was like, hello, is this such and such? And I'm like, yes, hello, what's going on? They say, well, this is the people that's, like, you know, over the food stamp office or whatever. And it was like, we have a report that you have been putting false information on your application to get food stamps, and that you're not homeless, and that you do have a job. So I'm like, okay, who did you get this information from? So it was like, well, we cannot disclose any information about who we got it from, but we have facts that you have been lying, and you have to pay all of that back, and your balance is $35,000. And
I want to bring this to your attention. The word of God tells us not to lie. Where all liars going to end up at? In hell. And where this liar end up at? In jail. Ain't that so?
also told me that they was filing charges on me. So I'm like, what the hell? Because at this point, I'm really thinking like they just playing, or somebody just playing on my phone, y'all. But yesterday, when I made the video and posted on TikTok, like 15 minutes later, the police came knock on my door.
So long story short, the woman went to jail and she owed back $35,000. That could have been $35,000 that could have been spent on her getting some kind of skill, some trade. There's plenty of trades that can be done for this price, probably a little bit more. But here it is. Now you got to think about it. This is going to be on her record. Now what's she going to do? So then she want to blame the system and say, oh, it messed me up. But the very system you want to blame that messed you up, you lied to that system to get the benefits. And now that they came and said that you lied, now you will say the system keeping you down. It's a stronghold on our people, and we gotta break this. So let me show you something else. This other lady on how she talking, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Donald Trump, especially all you people receiving EBT, Medicaid, food stamps. Y'all voted for Donald Trump, and now guess what? We got to go back to work. To qualify for EBT and food stamps, you have to be working 30 hours a week.
30 hours a week. I work at least 62, 12 sixes, you know. And like I said, some people work 14s and some people even hit 16 hours a day just to make sure that we pay our bills, pay on the things we need to pay on, and try to get ahead, and to try to invest, and to make sure that we are handling things for our children. And here it is, she complained about 30 hours. So I ask sisters to pay attention, because it's this thing about being the girl's girl and, you know, women power and all this other stuff. When here it is, you probably one of the sisters that get up and go to work every day, while it's bums like this that go out there well, she ain't going nowhere. I mean, well, who sit there and go to the refrigerator and complain about, oh, now I gotta go back to work.
I got 5 kids. I can't work 30 hours a week. Who's going to take care of my kids? And y'all done f***ed around and found out, now f***ed it up for everybody. You mean to tell me I got to go back to work and I got 5 kids? Who's going to take care of these 5 kids? I got $72 to last me on this EBT card, and then it's done, and I got to find a job. So thanks a lot, and you to anybody that voted for Donald Trump. Shame on you. Now we got to go back to work.
Again, the stronghold of a system that has destroyed minds and poisoned them to the point where they feel entitled, where they could live off of you and sit up here and blame a man who just got back in office, because remember, he's only been in office, what, 6 months, 7 months tops? So you mean the last 4 years, what, it wasn't their fault either? Okay. This is the other sister this is the sister I want y'all to see on her attitude about things.
Kids gonna do? I only got $60 in my food. They come my food stamps at $60. What me and my kids gonna do? Like, that's crazy. What is that?
Now, for all you hardworking sisters, look at this. This is another lady, 6 kids, and she been living rent-free for 3 years. Why am I bringing this to your attention? We got to bring back the nuclear family. Without that, we nothing. The Most High God ain't playing. He allowing everything to be tore down so we can be free. But we don't want to free our minds from the mess. He gonna allow us to be caught up. Remember Lot's wife. It was time to leave Sodom and Gomorrah and the 4 cities that was attached to it that got destroyed. It was a total of 6 of them that got destroyed that day. And it was time to get away from that mess. And she just couldn't fathom really what was life going to be like after living in a place that she got comfortable in. So stop allowing your emotions to feel for someone who don't even like you, someone who don't want to work, someone who just want to lay up and make different kids. I'm sure 6 kids, there's probably 3 different baby daddies, and them 3 jokers probably got 4, 5, 6 other kids with other different women. Because remember, most of the women who got a bunch of kids are having kids by a minority of the men, which then in a full case, all men get blamed for the issues of few.
I got about 6 kids. What is that gonna do? $60? Like, you got to be kidding me right now. Like, I am so tight right now. I really is pissed off. And my public housing, like, what I'm finna do? I done got an eviction letter. Like, what am I finna do? I was living 3 years rent free.
Has any
3 years rent free. Brothers and sisters, I want y'all to think about this. Just hear me out on this. If we was being smart about it, okay? Because some of the rules today are not as strong as they were back then when all this mess started. And we're going to get into what took place way back when all this started. But just hear me out. Sisters, if you get with a good man and y'all learn to work together, you learn to put down your pride, stop acting like you know everything. If you learn to work with this man. Now, if you get with some raggedy joker, you know, some dude that don't know how to orchestrate in life, that's on you. There's plenty of brothers out here who got plans, who know how to make things operate, who will sit down and be like, all right, check this out. We ain't got to pay no rent for 2 years. All right, check this out, baby. Let's do this right here. Check me out. I'm gonna get this job. You get you a little job, but make sure you stay underneath the thing, under the threshold for this time period so we could get ahead. And we're not going to spend no money. Whatever debt that you got, we're going to pay it off. Whatever debt I got, we're going to knock it down as much as possible. Why is that? Because we're going to build us a nest egg while we sitting up in here living underneath the government. Let's get up 20, 30, $50,000 within these 1 to 3 years. And so when it's time for us to get off of this mess, guess what? Our credit is good. Then we'll go ahead and get married. Then we could go ahead and get these government subsidies because we are doing things correctly. You could go buy you a house. It ain't like you got to put down a lot to get a house, especially when you're a first home buyer. Then there's other programs that help that also give you additional help. And then you get kickbacks from the government when it's time to file taxes. It's a business, just like marriage is a business. It is duty, just like we have duty to the Most High. So let's get into the scripture here, right here. Where we at? There we go. All right. It is we in Ephesians chapter 6, family relationships, starting at the first verse. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Let's start there. Many of you, and I'm talking about my age group, we need to learn to obey our parents first. Because if we don't obey our parents, how we expect our children to obey us? If we're not obeying the Most High, how we expect our children to obey us? It's a cycle. So if you got a bunch of problems with your children, 9 times out of 10, you been hard-headed, stiff-necked to either a man or the Most High. One of the two, or it might be both. Therefore, all I'm saying is, if we want our children to do better, we must be better. We have to set the examples because we are children just like they're children. Just we are grown and we gotta not operate like a child. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Verse 2, honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. Now, look at this. It said, honor thy father and mother. Today's society tells you to disrespect the father. Some women sit up there and lie to their kids about the father, or they have their kids lie to the father in order to get certain things out of them. That creates a disdain. If you think your kids ain't paying attention to how you move, you got another thing coming. They looking at you and they seeing what you're doing. But then by them sitting up there dealing with that kind of behavior for so long, it becomes a part of them. And then they start doing the very same thing that you was doing. But just know, when you operate with deceit, deceit comes back on you. And then it busts you in the head and you don't even be ready for it. Let's keep going. Verse 3. That it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land. So if you ain't honoring your father and you ain't honoring your mother, if you disrespecting them and telling them this and that and the other, hey, why you think people dropping like flies today? The Most High ain't playing. We got to get it together, brothers and sisters. And ye, fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. Let's stop right there. Fathers, for those who are not in your children's lives, you got to realize that you're a huge part of the problem when you're not there. Now, if you're one of the fathers that's dealing with a woman that's keeping you away from the kids and you doing everything you can to try to see them, trying to be around them, trying to talk to them, this message ain't for you, okay? But for you jive turkeys out there who just out there shooting up the club, making all these babies everywhere, you wanted to keep, like, for instance, there's 3 men in Memphis, Tennessee. 3 men in Memphis, Tennessee. And they have a total of 101 kids out of 3 men. That's more proof to the fact that majority of women are having babies with the minority of men. Because even the statistics say that 53% of black men between the ages of 20 and I think 35 are childless or just have one child. And also now to the mothers. Some of you mothers got too much hood ghetto trash in you. You gotta get that out of you. Cause I done been around it. I grew up on the south side of St. Pete, down there in Florida, man. And I'm trying to let you know, I done heard how you talk to your kids. You old bad MFer, you old nasty this and that. Get your stupid behind up. Get out of my face. You provoking them to wrath. Now they got all this animosity built up. Now they go out there fighting. Then when the young boy get talked to her like that, get your little ugly behind up. You look like your ugly A daddy. I done heard that plenty of times. Thank God I don't have to deal with that kind of mess. But I'm just saying, I done heard it. And these boys get treated like that by their mothers. And on top of that, these same mothers who talk like that walk around the kids half naked, booty cheeks hanging out the shorts. They got the cleavage all out. So the young boy, his mind jacked up. Then he grow up and he treat our sisters a certain way. And then when a brother try to speak about the things he dealt with, what do she say? Oh, who hurt you? Your mama black. And all this shame, insults, and guilt, like Kevin Samuels said before he got killed. That's right. Well, I'm sorry, got unalive. My bad, YouTube. So, but anyway, it says, but bring them up in the nature and admonition of the Lord. Do you think it's okay to be cussing your kids out, calling them all kind of names? Do you think that's going to help them grow to being the respectful, honoring child they need to be so they can be respectful and be successful in life? No. That's why these kids acting crazy. Let's keep going. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in the singleness of your heart, as unto Christ. Now, is this telling you to be hiding underneath the table, to be a punk and, acting all scared of those who are called our masters, our bosses, our leaders or whatever? No. What it's saying is obey the Most High God and do what he say do. Be obedient to those who have been put above us, and like it says, render unto Caesar that is Caesar. We ain't got to sit up there and cuss them out and tell them this and that and the other, because when we are doing right and we are behaving accordingly and being respectful individuals, the Most High, he makes things happen. But you got to have fear for the Most High first, and with fear is the beginning of wisdom. All right, let's keep going. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart. So we got to behave accordingly as the Most High say if we want things to operate in our favor. So you got to learn to humble yourself, because if you don't have humility, just know you're going to deal with some turbulence and you ain't going to like it. So then when the police pull you over, instead of being peaceful, you sitting up there acting crazy. Like, I got a story for you real quick. About 2 months ago, right? I had rented a car from my cousin. He does a little tour road, right? And he's doing pretty good, and I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. And the person that rented the car before I did, this dude came all the way from where it was Alabama, came down to Polk County. He went all the way to St. Pete, then shot all the way up there to Pensacola. He unalived the man and brought the car back. So that car was put on every database in the state of Florida as wanted. So here it is. I'm driving around in the car. I came all the way to West Virginia, did my little work, went back down to Florida. Then here it is. I'm driving, and I admit I think I did see a helicopter, but here it is. I ain't in the streets like that. I ain't in the streets at all. Period. So I'm not caring. I was like, man, flying pretty low, but I'm not paying no attention about it for real. So I get to my destination. I get out the car. I'm walking down the sidewalk. I'm in my phone, texting or whatever I was doing. And then next thing I know, I got, the task force coming from different areas. Get down on the ground. So, I didn't do anything. So what I did was I put my hands up. I got down on my knees. And they laid me down on the ground. They put my hands behind my back, and arrested me. And then, one of the guys like, man, something ain't right here. And then another guy was like, hey man, this went a little bit too easy. He's like, hey man, who are you? And I told him who I was. And he was like, this don't look like I got. So I was laying on the ground for a little while. And it was like, we was expecting this guy to run because this man is known to be a shooter. So they picked me up off the ground, and they brushed me off, whatever. And they're like, hey man, like, where did you get that car? I said, I rented off of Turo. And so, I still had my hands behind my back. I told them to get my phone out my pocket. I had to tell them my code. And then it was some other personal stuff they didn't want to do. So I told them to bring the phone up to my nose. I'm doing stuff with my nose on the phone. And, I showed them, hey, I rented this car, and, lo and behold, I probably was out there for probably about a good hour and a half. But because I didn't sit up there and try to take off running, I ain't did nothing and act erratic, they knew that, hey, well, this brother ain't part of this. So I only brought that up for you brothers especially. Do not be getting wild and erratic with these police. All right. Not all of them on that shoot a black man stuff. Really, I don't believe most of them are like that, but there are certain groups of them. And that's a whole nother topic to speak on about how there's some private policing going on that has to do with some very wicked things. But, we could talk about it at another time. But I just want to bring that to your attention so you can understand that we got to learn to operate with dignity, honor, and respect, and keep your head held up. Don't be holding your head down because something doesn't happen. No, you're a child of the Most High, child of the light. Where we was at. That's right, verse 7. With good, we're doing service as to the Lord and not to men. So when we're doing good according to the Lord, to the Most High God, we follow his law, statutes, commandments to the best of our abilities. We're studying to shoot ourselves approved, a workman rightly dividing the word, not to be ashamed. And we're making sure that we treat our brothers and our sisters right, even those of the different nations. We don't mistreat them. And on that matter right there, for all you dudes is out there telling the white man to kiss your boots and all this other stuff, you need to cut that crap out. Or if you want to continuously do stuff like that, make sure you say that you're not a part of Israel. Because name the first time that our big brother Yasha ever told a Gentile to kiss his feet. Our big brother was humble. He got down on his knees and he washed the feet. And that's how we are to be. Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord. Just spoke about that. Whether he be bond or free. And ye masters, do the same thing unto them, forbearing threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him. Most High gonna handle it. I ain't saying be a punk and get beat up or whatever. Now, if it's the police, you gotta operate with wisdom. All right? Operate with wisdom, because your job is to get home to your babies. Because how you gonna protect your child and be a provider for your child if you behind bars? How you gonna be a provider and protect your child if you done got dropped and now you going 6 feet deep? Be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Y'all know Satan out here. Listen here. Y'all know that his job is to kill, steal, and destroy. And he does his job with masterful works. Why you think he's called the worthy adversary? We can't get mad at Satan for doing his job. You gotta get mad at yourself. Just like at a point in time in my life, I had to get mad at myself and be like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I gotta do better. Yeah, I may be doing good, but guess what? Some of you that have been a part of the corporate world, or you work jobs that deal with government contracts and all and stuff like that, you go to these meetings and stuff. Remember, we have to be in the mindset of always being into continuous improvement for the Most High. The same way they want you to continuously improve for that company, you gotta be 10 times more of a beast for the Most High. So he knows where you at. Because when you put on the whole armor of God, guess what? Can't nothing touch you, baby. It's all good. That's right. Here we go. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. We got the fallen angels. They came down here because they had pride and left their first estate. We dealing with families on this earth who have devoted their life unto Satan, the families of Satan, and they out here making sure that they keep humanity down because they want to make sure that they are part of bringing in the new world order. This junk is real, and we got to make sure that we are spiritually ready for this thing. We are dealing with warfare in every shape, form, or fashion. But if you're not spiritually ready for this thing, if you not have become a prayer warrior, I'm telling you, you're going to be battling some things that you ain't going to be able to help. Because prayer without works is null and void. And you can't just be putting in work and not praying. They go hand to hand in tandem. So please, brothers and sisters, keep those things in mind so you can grow in continuous improvement for the Most High. Let's keep going, Rick. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. This is very important. Because if we don't have the whole armor of God, because remember, things gonna get bad. It talked about how in the wilderness in the future, a man gonna be behind a tree eating pork. Why? Because he's hungry. But if you have not taken the time out to take at least one day out of every week and you fast, so your body get used to not always needing to eat. Because remember something, if you can't go a whole day without fasting, your body's weak and you're most likely dealing with a demon inside. Not saying he's strong, but demons, they come together. So if you feed into it, he's going to invite another joke inside you, and now you're really dealing with a problem. So I ask you, get with a brother, get with a sister. Y'all come together and learn to fast so we can doggone stand in these evil times when they are to come. But we have to practice this thing on a daily basis, and then we got to start right now. Let's keep going. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Don't be out there with anger. You know, yes, the word of God said be angry, but sin not. So we got to learn to deal with things in a more professionalized way than always lashing out, or how they say it today, crashing out when things don't happen the way we see fit. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Man, we're going to be came at any kind of way. Remember, you just got done praying, right? You get ready to go to work. You get a flat tire. Now you late to work. Now your paycheck gonna be short. If you ain't got, PTO or, whatever other benefits you got. I'm a contract worker, so I don't get all that. So I truly live if you're a man don't work, a man don't eat. But back to my example, you get a flat tire, you fix your tire. You get to work, you're already late. Then you were supposed to stop and get something to eat. Now you're hungry, what they call hangry. So people asking you all these different questions and you can't think straight because you're hungry. That's a fiery dart. Now you got to prevent yourself from lashing out. And then it just goes a snowball from there. So these different things, trials and tribulations you deal with in life, fiery darts. Put on the whole armor of the Most High God. Verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation. There we go. And the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all preservation and supplication for all saints. Pray for your brothers and sisters. They going through the same thing you going through. Make sure you get that nasty stuff up out of you. If you got anguish inside of you against a brother, sister, go to your brother, your sister, and have that talk with them. Hey man, I didn't like what you said. Hey, you really got on my nerves that day when you was doing what you was doing. And if I would have said something that day, I would have been out of character. We got to learn to be able to talk to one another at the same time. When a brother or sister come to you with an issue, learn to listen. You got 2 ears. Do not be easily offended. Learn to intake what is being said, what they call constructive criticism. So now that you can grow, they can grow, y'all can forgive what needs to be forgiven, and that bond can grow stronger. Because more that you be in anguish with your brothers and sisters, you have caused more space for Satan to come step in and jack things up. Verse 19. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. If we want to know the mystery of the gospel, we must fear the Most High first. And that fear begins understanding that we must learn, study, and be obedient to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Verse 20. For which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I speak boldly as I ought to speak, but that ye also know my affairs and how I do. Tychus, a beloved brother and faithful minister in the Lord, shall make known to you all things, whom I've sent unto you for the same purpose, that ye might know our affairs, and that he might comfort your hearts. Peace be to the brethren, and love with faith from God, the Father, and our Lord, the Hamashiach Yasha. Grace be with all them that love our Lord Yeshua in sincerity. Amen. Now, next thing I want to bring to your attention is let me show you how this stronghold of the system that we've been dealing with, how here we go, has been jacking our people up even more. Because now, not only now are we taking in food stamps and stuff like that, cash assistance, our people are learning to steal from the same people who claim that, oh, we love black folks. Oh, the white man always doing this to us. We love blaming the white man. But what about the crap we do to each other? We can't point the finger at other people when we're doing messed up stuff to our own selves. Let's get into it. Here we go. That's right. Fair use.
Look that $27 link in my bio and get on there and get it. We done dropped about 15 different sites where you can go and get cardings. There's a site in there where you can get them.
And again, this woman to the right, she's the her name is Lindy Glenn. And I just wanted to put it out there so, you know, give credit where credit is due.
Yes, go get them groceries. Of course, we're still teaching the original OGs about the approvals and moving into apartments, getting cars, the basics and whatever not. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all, the group lit. It's jumping. And honestly, I honestly couldn't promote it no harder, but I just feel like it kind of promotes itself. Like everybody.
This woman right here, this demon of a woman, has created a site for people to come to and pay $27. So you got people paying $27 learning how to steal stamps. Now guess what? Are you stealing stamps from the government? Yeah, because the government gives them. But guess who gets robbed of them? The very people that's on them. So all this sisterhood stuff, she ain't thinking about the sisters that she's stealing with. For the sisters that who did make bad choices and they got themselves in a bad situation where they got a bunch of kids and now they don't know what they're gonna do, that's who getting stole from. But yet it's this sisterhood thing.
Getting in, we learning from each other. We learning with the new details put in. But I ain't gonna.
Yeah, they're learning from each other. They're learning how to con the system. And I bet you're wondering, how is she teaching people how to get apartments? How is she teaching people how to get free money from loans? We'll get to that.
The best perk about it all is you getting access to them yamps. If you know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to that situation.
For those who ain't privy to the terminology, when she say yamps, they talking about food stamps. They using weak code words as if the feds don't know what that is. So online, when they doing this stuff, they're not quote unquote putting themselves in trouble with the law.
You've been one of the people who had to log into your YEMP account to save your YEMPs from being snatched. Then you already know what it's hitting on off real. But anyways, the $27 After Dark class is at the link in my bio. You need to have Telegram downloaded. If you don't have Telegram downloaded, then you might run into some issues. But download Telegram first. Take that link, copy it into Telegram.
Now look at this now. Look what's on here. I'm doing this on the next Thursday. Will I still be able to get the After Dark class? These are other people with their pictures up. Look, these are people. We supposed to love each other, right? But nah, the white man the one that did it. Trump the one that did it. Okay, I just want some money. I just purchased and already have Telegram, but when I click download, nothing happened. Look at what is this? Baby 5041. The group is really the truth. It's truth stealing food stamps from people who are not into this life of thievery.
And you'll be able to join in and off real. Once you learn how to just put the money on there and be able to go and get the YAMP information.
Well, how you get in the group sound like a group I need to be in. Instead of, how do I go get a certification, some kind of licenses, maybe a degree. But nah, sound like a group she need to be in so she can learn how to steal food stamps off another person's card. And when they go to get something to eat, knowing good well that money just hit that night before, they finna go make sure that these babies get some food from the Walmart or Kroger's or Publix or Albertsons or whatever you go to. All this, then you go up there and she done put all these groceries in the buggy, go up there and be embarrassed that she ain't got no funds and she don't know what she gonna do. I still can't get in. What about CCS?
Put that shit into your Walmart.
Will it be all the info or just new info? This person already done been in it. I'm sorry, but how do you click the link? Like, where is it located? Jamami, unlimited yamps, got eyeballs. Where they at? How's it gonna be unlimited? Now, brothers and sisters, remember, these yours and my tax dollars for these doggone thieves. But remember, again, this is a culture that has a stronghold over our minds that has destroyed our people. And we must do whatever we can to help those who want to be helped. And then we might have to doggone stump out those who want to keep doing it. Now, I'm not saying put foot on somebody. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, hey, because you got to think about this. We already, as quote unquote Black folks and Hispanics, we all get looked at as a monolith. So we went 12, 15 different people plus this lady here talking about stealing stuff. You don't think when you go to the market and you don't work hard and you don't got your money up and you going out there to buy, you don't think it's people looking at you like they're looking at her? You think they know that if you different than her, all they looking at is skin color? Can we really get mad? Or is it something we need to make sure we draw the line in the sand and you be like, hey, you with that mess, you ain't part of us. Why you think the word of God told us, be ye separate, separate ourselves. We are a peculiar people. Not all Israel is Israel. We got to put things in perspective so we don't get caught up with these crazy behind people that's out here stealing and messing up people's lives.
Your Whole Foods, your Kroger's, your Albertsons, your Amazon Fresh Orders, whatever the case is, get your shit and get on about your business. Don't say I never gave y'all nothing, because this motherfucker's
excuse all the language, but this a hood booger, so this is what you're gonna get. And look at $27. So I had seen another one somewhere where they said that this lady made $7,000 within a few hours of people signing up for it. So if you do the math, let's do some old school math in this piece. $7,000, 7,227 people. Man, Button, that would have calculated that. You got time for this? Yeah. Hold on. 7,000. So that's roughly about 275 people that logged in on this. Again, this is a stronghold of a culture. And then you got to think about it. If you got a bunch of people doing this, it's a spirit that's bled on these people to say, hey, well, me, let me take from you. But at the same time, it could be your cousin, your auntie, your grandmama, your sister. You over there stealing stuff from somebody else's junk, and here it is, your own family members getting their stuff stolen. Treat people the way you want to be treated. All right.
I charged $300-$400 for the information that I put together alongside the help of other people.
So yeah, you heard that right. There are other people doing this, but they're just not as brazen.
Now, I want to go to this other part just real quick where, what's she talking about? Hold on. Here we go.
Just to sell her course.
If y'all mad at me because I finessed y'all out of $27 to get into a group where you learning everything but what the topic of that shit said, that's on me. I'm going to eat that. Okay, whatever. Y'all the gullible ones, though. Clearly.
Oh.
So is this still a sisterhood? Let me try to find this video of this. Let me show you the effects, because there's some people that think this junk is funny and don't realize how it's hurting our people. Let me show you something. Share screen. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we went to hop back to her. Now I want y'all to watch this. For those sisters and for those brothers that do it too, if you think it's funny that you stealing people's stuff, I want you to just pay attention to these couple people here. Let's roll the clip. Fair use.
Anyone ever had this happen to them? I woke up to try to order groceries using my EBT card. Yes, I get food stamps. Don't judge me. I'm a single mom of 5. I'm trying my best, okay? I woke up to try to order groceries, and it said that my EBT card balance was $1.17, and I know for a fact that I had over $400 left on that card. And it
still think it's funny? Look at this sister. She hurt. She ain't doing nobody wrong. She made some bad choices. You got a lot of kids. Pretty sure she ain't that old. But that's beside the point. Right now, the sister got food stamps. She knew she had $400 and some on them things, and she woke up the next day with $1 on it. Okay, sisterhood.
I went to the transactions and it says supermarket, not even Walmart, HEB like it just says supermarket. And somebody spent $456 on my food stamps. And I know people were probably like, why are you crying? I need to know what to do, guys. 201 is not open yet. The 1-800 number is not open yet. Will they refund me my money back? I have small babies, twins. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying. I know it probably.
Now, what if that was your sister? What if that was your auntie? What if that was your mama? What if that was your grandmama? Your cousin? You gotta do better, man. We'll go to this other lady.
But I didn't really quite believe it because I'm like, but people are scamming the EBT cards. And I know because it happened to me today. So I get my food stamps every second of the month. And today I woke up thinking it was it's the second. I can finally go food shopping, get my kids what they need for school, or whatever the case may be. And when I checked my account, it was $0.
Like
$0. We had a sister that looked like she was from Judah. The second sister looked like she could have been, Ephraim or, one of them other ones. I don't know. But it's affecting us. This is a culture. It's disgusting. It's ripping us apart. But then again, what do we want to do? Let's blame the white man. It's Trump's fault because he's taking them away. Okay.
Just blew me. So earlier today, I went to Walmart just to pick up a couple of things, get the stuff off of my WIC card or whatever the case may be. I used my food stamp card to get, I think I spent like maybe $17 or $18 on my food stamp card because I just got a case of Celsius. Boom. I still had a large amount left on my food stamp card. So today, after I cleaned up my house or whatever the case may be, I'm laying down. My grandma called me like, hey, can you send the kids an order of food? So I'm like, okay, whatever. No, adding stuff to the cart. I'm like, what they need? I'm sitting on the phone with her, adding stuff to the cart. Y'all, I gets to check out. The thing say, you only have, like, I don't know the message verbatim, but basically it told me I only had $1.08. And I'm like, I just left Walmart. I know how much money I got on my card. So I'm like, okay, Grandma, let me call you back. Let me call my card. Y'all, why somebody stole my food stamps? Like, that's how I feed my kids. It's like, I don't understand why people do that.
Now, I want you, like I was talking about, this is a culture, okay? It's a culture of people being dependent on a system, and then there's a culture within the culture of people stealing from the same people who need the very things and then want to act like, oh, we need to come together. We need to support one another. We really got to do better, brothers and sisters. So go ahead and finish it out.
You don't know my situation. You don't know if that was the only way I got to feed my kids. You don't know if I have a job. You don't know what the situation may be. But yet you will go and take from other people for what? To make a couple dollars. Go get a job. They got me so pissed off. Oh my God. And then it'd be like, it's so aggravating because on top of everything else, now is this.
So y'all see how this is affecting us on both ends of the spectrum. So, because if we was to do better and learn how to work together, more importantly, if we start taking our lives seriously and applying, because think about it, that sister took all that knowledge, it took her brain power to learn how to steal instead of learning how to go learn how to flip houses. learning how to do. That woman could have done anything. She could have done anything with her life besides learning how to be a scam artist. And again, you get locked up. Now you got a bad record. Nobody gonna trust you because what company in their right mind gonna trust you to be in a company when you've known to steal stamps? You're there doing drops and I give you give me $1,500 and I pay your rent when it's $3,000. Then they use somebody's card, and then the person calls call the things that, hey, I didn't approve this charge. Then it get kicked back, and now the people in the rent place gonna tell you you still owe the $3,000 on top of you are out of $1,500. So that's $1,500 less you got. Now you got to pay the full $3,000 plus the fees that come with it. Again, this is a stronghold in a culture, and it's spiritual, and we got to break it. Let's go ahead and get some more scriptures in this thing. All right. Well, before we go there, let's play this video because I want y'all to see how this has been a long thing going on. Now I want y'all to pay attention to this documentary. It says 1967 documentary. What year are we in? 2025. 2 more years, it'll be 2027. We're talking about 60 years, brothers and sisters. 60 years. And look, we have been in a perpetual cycle of degradation. We got to do better. And look, it says welfare over fathers. Fair use.
Welfare mothers, and the children too, feel that they are on a dead-end street. That the way things are, there's not enough money and no way to hold up your head. And so they've begun what amounts to a welfare revolt.
You look on TV and you see that poor little kid from another nation. Oh, he looks so pitiful. I feel so sorry for him. But I can't overlook the fact that we have poor little kids in this nation.
Mrs. Etta Horn is a leader of the welfare rights movement. Their principle and their overwhelming complaint is that there simply is not enough money to raise a family, and then that it's given in a self-defeating and self-perpetuating way, that it degrades the people who receive it.
I have children. I look at my kids' face and I think, am I going to really prove to them where it starts at? You know, they're always screaming about delinquents. American Welfare Department makes delinquents.
There is an evil system around.
Martin Luther King believes that welfare is part of that system, damaging to black and white alike.
Will not get right until this evil system is removed, because as I have listened and as I've looked and as I've lived in the ghetto, I've seen what this evil system has done to my brothers and my sisters. I've seen how it has left little children with clouds of inferiority formed in their little mental sky. I've seen how this evil system has transformed nice, decent young women into prostitutes. I've seen how this system has transformed nice, decent young men into dope addicts trying to escape the ugliness of their daily life.
We can't say that this ain't true, because look, I mean, we got OnlyFans. We got, for those that be heavy in these YouTube streets, sisters out here begging. It's getting to the point, it has got so bad, it's sisters on here shaming men, saying that, well, you ain't a real man if you ain't trying to spend $300 on a date. I don't even know you. You gotta go get these cheeseburgers, girl. Chill out. Shoot, you don't know how to cook? Oh, nah, you can't cook, then we ain't going nowhere. Tripping. Let's go to this other part. 619.
Like they told me to. There is no such thing as emergency order on a weekend. So in other words, my children went without food from Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, until Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Mrs. Jane Wilson is a Detroit welfare mother. The premise of the ADC program is simple, that children without visible means of support must be aided by the state. But to be eligible, a mother and her children must be without a man in the house.
Well,
You hear that? To be eligible, you cannot have a man present in the house. What I'm saying is, if you gotta go down that route, get with a man and y'all make sure y'all operate with wisdom. Because before all of this welfare stuff, the Black Panther movement, and it's arguments that could be made that, your boy, Huey Newton or whatever was a CIA plan or whatever the case may have been. Okay, whatever. It's the ideology that's more important than the individual who was used. You and that man can work together to set y'all future up. Get on if you're gonna have to get on welfare, use it as a stepping stool. Play the game. Use that thing. Get that money stacked up. If when it comes to file taxes every year, you get anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 on income tax. Stop spending the money on trying to shine and ride clean and all this other stuff. Take care of your car. Go get the oil change. Go get the tune-up done. Stop lying, stop getting with crazy behind dudes and letting them use your car and then they crash it. All these Nissans beat up everywhere all the time. Nissan didn't do nothing to you. Where we at? Let me find that lady. Now again, I'm not picking on the sisters, but the system for this was used in order to use the sisters. Because remember, Satan deceived who in the garden? Eve. We are dealing with the malignant root that still stands strong today and is prevalent. And we must be able to identify this thing so we're able to battle against it. Again, we are dealing with warfare, but we got to be spiritually ready first. Let's roll this tape. Fair use.
Implicit moral judgment that they don't have the capacity to care properly for their children.
We are bitter because we are faced with trying to raise children without money. People on welfare, if they had money enough to at least exist on, I'm not saying, because I don't have a college diploma, that I should have, $300 a week, but I'm saying that people on welfare have a right to a decent living in a rich country like America. And, like we can always, send charity overseas. And it's, for years, we've been in poverty as a country. And that I'm concerned with, a country that, gets concerned with hunger in India, but's not concerned with hunger in the United States. They talk about planning for a future. You have to first have something to plan with.
Now, if she would have got behind her man, quote unquote, baby daddy, then you wouldn't have to worry about telling a government that you needed, you got to have something to plan with. No, you don't. How many of your great grandparents or grandparents had nothing? Grew up in an old country town and was busted and broke. But then they crawled, scratched, found something, started a business, junkyard back in the day, scrap metal. Scraps today still is booming. You just gotta know how to swing it. There's a lot of different ways to make money, but we gotta stop allowing silliness of things that are not answers, but people before us, or better yet, stop allowing social media to mess your family up. Most of the people on this internet fake. They don't live the life that they pursue, they show online. Young girls, please listen to me. Stop getting influenced by these so-called social media IG girls. They're not models. They're just a chick with a camera. She changed clothes at the house and just take pictures in the mirror. Or she go outside and take a picture of herself. That's not a way to make a living. And then if you're dependent on your beauty is vain. And that's the easiest way for Satan to deceive you. It's the easiest way for a man to come about, and now you find out you're not really in a relationship. You're dealing with a pimp.
You don't plan a meal, unless you got, something to eat. And
you go right here. And what I'm showing you is, look how this was 60 years ago. And the same stuff that women are saying today is being said then. And brothers, step your game up. But more importantly, I ask you, sisters, please stop getting with men that you know good and well that already got a bunch of kids, number one. He ain't got nothing going on with his life. Now, I'm not saying sit up here and be like, well, if you ain't making $100 and some $1,000 and you ain't driving this kind of car and you ain't 6 foot tall and you ain't got a 6-pack, or, if you're looking for Satan, just say you want Satan, but stop claiming you want a godly man because you think you're going to find a Devon Franklin or the Michael Todd guy. Because real men of God don't move like that. They stand strong and they go hard in the paint, and they don't put up with no foolishness. It's just that simple. You find it. And also, just because the brother stands strong, it don't mean that he's mean. It doesn't mean that he's going to mistreat you. But understand, a righteous man, or a man that's striving for perfection, he's battle-minded. And a lot of times he's already been battle-tested. Therefore, he's understanding, when I go outside that door, I'm dealing with everything. Sisters, you fail to realize the power that you got. You have allowed Satan to play you out your positions. Understanding that the feminine essence, Mama Rawakwadash, the Holy Spirit, that if you let her settle and dwell within you, when she dwell with you, when you utilize that to your man, that man get up like Superman. He'll go out the door, but I'm finna go save the world. You know what I'm saying? It be like that. Go ahead, put some nice grits and eggs up in that man's stomach. Some beef bacon and some beef sausage. Watch what he go out there and do. You're gonna make it happen. That's right. Some of that good old water.
But when my grandparents and my father found out I was pregnant, their first attitude was, we aren't going to do anything for you. And my grandmother told me from the beginning, you may not bring this baby into my house. Now,
why is that? This was back in the 60s. Now, for you older sisters who I know that you know, Sister Kathleen Edwards, Sister Toy McCormick, what else we got here? Sister Shanique. I know that y'all know it's being said, you're supposed to marry before you carry. Now, do that always happen? No. But here it is, this sister here sitting up here talking about how, her grandma said, well, you ain't bringing this baby up in this house because we told you, you marry before you carry. Stop being a little fast girl out there in them streets. Now she up in here with this group of other women. I don't know what they really doing, but obviously there's a powwow that ain't looking too good.
She has responsibility for me until I'm
Fair
18
use.
years old. I talked to my social worker here at school, and I have talked to people down at child welfare. And it's being made possible right now for my baby's born in September for me to put that child in a foster home and to visit it. And
That's another problem. When we don't do things the right way, the nuclear family, she talking about, oh, she could go put the child in the foster home. How many stories have y'all heard about children going to a foster home and they get molested, or they get things happen, or because the people that are taking care of the child feel that the mama wasn't no good person, so she don't deserve to be around a child, and now she fighting to try to just see the child, going through the same thing as when the man want to see his child and the woman is keeping the child away from him. I know y'all done seen it, and it ain't cool, and it ain't funny. Nothing to be played up with. We skip to this other portion right here. Check them out.
Welfare departments claim that they want to encourage marriage and thus get women off the welfare rolls. But the investigation of a woman's eligibility for ADC discourages the beginning of any relationship with a man and marriage.
Well, if he's someone who is sincerely interested in you, you would like perhaps to invite him to dinner. You would like to, maybe he would like to spend the day with you. And if this happens, then, and you have a neighbor who particularly don't care for you, then the welfare department will hear about it, and then they suppose that this man is living there, or that you are supporting him out of your funds, you're feeding him with your funds, or if you claim you're not feeding him out of your funds, then their answer will be, then he's giving you money.
And she said, oh, you can't have a boyfriend. We don't allow that. And I wanted to know why. And she said, because it doesn't look right, with the kids. And so I said, I still don't see why they have anything to do with me with a boyfriend. And she said, well, you'll have to get rid of him. You have to make plans to marry him. And I told her I wasn't getting married. I wasn't ready for it. I had just got out of one. And I said, now look, you're going to tell me, here I am, 37 years old at that time. And I've been married, got 5 kids here in the home, and had been married to this one man for 16 years. And you're going to tell me I can't have a boyfriend?
Now again, she said that she was married. Obviously, if something bad happened to her, she'd have said her husband passed away, or he was unalived, or something bad like that. She didn't say he got locked up, so basically she went and got a divorce. Now she's sitting up here trying to take care of 5 kids and wanting the system to help, but she want a boyfriend, and then she complaining why she can't get a boyfriend. We gotta make it make sense, people. We do.
And so she said, well, we doesn't allow the ADC mothers with boyfriend. And I couldn't understand that. So she left. When she left, well, then she come back to tell me.
So this woman got denied because she wanted a man, and they told her no. And when she didn't get her way, they told her basically to kick rocks. So we'll go to this other lady here.
And, to tell a man that makes, $125, $135 a week that he should accept me and 9 kids and support us is crazy.
9 kids? Nah, that ain't happening. No.
Because, realistically, I would feel that if I married a man in this position, that, it wouldn't take but maybe 6 months. If it took that long, he would begin to resent my kids. He would hate me, he would beat me, and he'd scream at the kids. He'd start beating the kids out of frustration. And, maybe it wouldn't be because he didn't love me and the kids, but because he was, being deprived of, just having, a pair of shoes on his feet and proper food for himself, for kids that he wasn't responsible for. And this is, thinking realistically.
Yeah, family. We definitely gotta do better. And we got to make sure that we be there for one another and bring these families back together. You know, I do ask you, you know, younger sisters, don't just find an older woman to try to get better understanding in life. Find an elder sister who's seasoned according to the word of God, to the Most High God, for her to give you direction. Because she's not going to lead you astray, because if she try and do that, the Most High will punish her. Let's read this last verse. We're in 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Now I, Paul, myself, beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Christ, who in presence am based among you, but being absent am bold towards you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. So we're gonna have troubles, we're gonna have struggles, we're gonna have problems, we're gonna go through issues, but you gotta understand that the kingdom is at hand. You gotta understand we gotta break these bonds and these strongholds that has casted its claws into our culture, into our people, and it is destroying the minds, and more importantly, it is destroying the spiritual connection with the Most High, in which we will need now in order to fight this battle, so we can endure. Because like the word of God say, those who endure to the end, that same shall be saved. Let's keep reading. Verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of our big brother, the Mahashiach. Now, we got to remember, it's a lot of things that we're learning today that is totally wrong, and it's going against the Most High God. It's against the knowledge. Stop allowing this, the system that you have been a part of, and allowing a so-called education at some indoctrination camp called a college/university to try to tell you this, that, and the other, and it's ripping you away from the true knowledge, which is the only knowledge is of the Most High God. Because remember, the wisdom of this world is foolishness. So you got to make sure that you utilize it as the tool that it is. It's not something to be taken as, well, I got this job and I made this amount of money and I'm this and I'm that, because guess what? Over 300,000 Black women found out the hard way through the government. You ain't got no job no more. I want you to think about this here. A lot of them got hired according to what? DEI. Diversity, equality, and inclusion. When you decide to include yourself and go all in on your education because you want this, you want that, and it's all about you, and you going in on being included with that system, you're not being a part of the Most High. You ain't even thinking about him. He don't care about you going to Sunday church. That's the synagogue of Satan. They got nothing to do with him. So please, brothers and sisters, we got to get together. Let's finish this out. And having in readiness to revenge all disobedience. We got to be ready. We got to strive for perfection in this walk and make sure that we, have a revengeance heart against disobedience, so we can walk the right way when your obedience is fulfilled. Do ye look on things after the outward appearance? Again, Young sisters, stop paying attention to these IG models. They ain't models anyway. Just a chick across the street. And all these so-called influencers that mean you no good. Because all you doing, you only looking at the outward appearance. Like the one girl, well, I forgot her name, she over there teaching people how to scam. So, but then you go on her little page thing, she look like she balling. But then again, she's stealing from your family members and your friends to live a life that she didn't deserve, a life that she stole. If any man trusts to himself that he is Christ, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Christ, even so are we Christ. We're supposed to be Christ-like. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Last verse. For though I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which the Lord hath given us for edification, and not for your destruction, I should not be ashamed. Like the word of God say, study to shew thyself approved, a workman rightly dividing the word, not to be ashamed. We are dealing with warfare. So all I ask is, stop looking first at the white man as the problem. If you're indulging in certain things, you are the problem. Back in the day, when I was out there in the streets, I was the problem. When there was times where I was sleeping in the back of a bandit car or a house or whatever, I was the problem. So I'm letting you know, we all got work to do. So I want to thank you, brothers and sisters, for allowing me to come into your living room for the time period. And I ask that you remember, study, keep the law, statutes, commandments. The kingdom is at hand, and Christ is king. Shalom.